We are back, episode 98, and we are proudly sponsored by Moon Golf. Mitchell, our resident Moon Golf employee, tell us what they can do for you.
Man, y'all go to Moon Golf. Moon Golf will give you anything and everything you need to stock up your golf bag and to get your golf game right. They got some of the best fitters in the game out there, and they'll sit there and take the time with you to get everything set like it needs to be set.
He's telling the truth. Hopefully I'm walking out with a new putter next week.
My game's only going up. I'm getting
That's
better
good,
and
Rob.
better. The more I'm buying my strokes right now.
Speaking of Moon Golf,
tell the listeners what the latest addition to the bag is.
Oh,
both them boys.
me and Mitchell both. Ping G430 Max 10K.
Boy, that thing nice too.
Hey, real quick, speaking of Moon Golf, we're 2 weeks out from our episode 100, where we're going to be on site at Moon Golf in Auburn, giving away $500. All you have to do is show up. You have 3 shots on the closest to the pin, just like last year, and we'll take your closest one and we'll write it down. And in the night, whoever was closest to the pin, $250 gift card to Moon Golf. Then you can walk your tail on over to the putting green. I don't know. We may do 3 putts and write down how many you made. Whoever, I don't know how we'll do it because we'll figure that out. But $250 gift card for that as well. So there's a chance you could leave with $500 if you're just really locked in that night. And we're going to be recording episode 100 as we do it. So come say hey, come hang out, and just have a good time at Moon Golf and win you some gift cards. What hole do y'all think we should do for the close to the pin? I don't remember what we did last year.
If we
I
could get
can
it
check
realistic, that par 3 at Augusta, is it 13 on 8-man corner?
Yeah,
12. Oh, 12.
that's what I was thinking. 12.
Yeah, Masters was just 2 weeks ago from that moment, 3 weeks from that moment. Yeah, we may do Augusta.
The realistic conditions where it ain't going to sit,
Yeah,
you got to put some talent on it.
so come hit a shot. We'll let you know.
We can't have Logan walking up and draining it though.
Yeah, no more hole. Last year there was a hole in one by a Moon Golf employee, which is wild. So come check it out. We may, if we're really good at planning, we may have some beverages and stuff there for y'all to go and hang out. But we're already giving away $500, so it may not. Who knows? Just come show up and hit a shot.
We need some help from local sponsors.
Yeah, local sponsors. We'll figure out the putting thing. Just bring your putter or grab a putter right off.
They got a
the golf
wall to
bag.
test, and you may win the gift card and take it home with you.
That'd be big time. Hey, well, we're already recording, so we're gonna go into it just to be respectful of your time. Hold on to you and whatnot. So, everybody, this is Trevor Masterson. He is what I think a content guru. His stuff is just amazing. I love looking at it, love seeing it. And the boys, kind of how we learned from you is that, well, we're Primo fans, so we love wearing Primo stuff. And so
For sure.
Zach's got the hat on right now.
I see it, repping the brand. Let's
Yeah.
go.
He's doing it. He said he's going to do it as a respect for you tonight.
Hey, I appreciate it.
So Trevor, he's a filmmaker, photographer for Primo. He's done stuff for TaylorMade. He's just in the golf game right now, doing this kind of stuff, doing all kinds of different advertisements. He's worked with some of everybody's favorite YouTubers that you watch, and so it's just cool to have him on. And thanks for coming on, Trevor. For
Yeah,
taking time.
absolutely, guys. Thank y'all for having me on. I appreciate it.
Yeah. We love it. I guess we'll just jump into it before we get into where you are now in life, and because all the stuff
For
you're
sure.
doing right now is so cool. And
Yeah,
we kind of
thank
want to ask questions about that. How did you? A lot of people, photographers that I know personally, never was started off, I'm going to be a photographer. They kind of just fell into it. But
Right.
did you have a mindset hey, this is what I want to do?
Yeah, so that's a great question. So I'm 26 now. When I was in high school, it was kind of around the time when Instagram had started doing 15-second videos, and I was really excited to see all the GoPro footage. That's kind of when the GoPro came out too. So when I kind of picked up a camera, but when I was younger, kind of in middle school, me and some friends in the neighborhood would make goofy videos. We made some trick shot videos, kind of like Dude Perfect back in the day. And that kind of sparked the passion a little bit too. But when I reached high school, I was making, Instagram videos for fun, mainly a lot of travel stuff, because that was kind of like how I got into it. I would do a lot of travel films, adventure type videos. But it wasn't until when I was in high school, we had a filmmaker come by our high school to do a video to like promote our school. And I recognized like a piece of equipment that he was operating, and I was like, "Hey man, I know what that is." And he was like, "Whoa." And my principal was kind enough to let me like shadow him for a day, and he was like, "Hey man, you should come work with me." And I was like, "Okay, sure." And his primary business was filming weddings. So for the longest time, since my sophomore year of high school, I shot my first wedding when I think I was like 15. I was super nervous. Did it for free. And I did like a few weddings with this guy, my mentor, out of Jackson, Tennessee. And it was like the second wedding after I filmed with him. He was like, "Man, you should start your own business." And I was like, I don't know if I'm ready for that. So that was a little bit nerve wracking, but honestly, it was a good thing for me, because I was able to kind of learn a lot of communication skills at a very young age, and learning to like deal with kind of difficult situations while filming and stuff like that. So for the longest time, for about 10 years, and we still do a few per year, I started out in the wedding industry, to kind of supplement my love and passion for filmmaking. I would use that money while I was in high school and college, when I didn't have to pay for rent or didn't really have expenses, to invest in gear, and to kind of invest in myself. So that's kind of where the passion started with filmmaking. And I think what's so unique about it is like I've been able to kind of like, my first passion was obviously travel and doing like travel videography and photography. But I've been able to kind of like segue into my passions with my craft, which has been a lot of fun, which is kind of brings me to where I am today. So yeah, it's kind of a long-winded answer, but
Yeah.
No, we
I,
love it.
I've done one wedding, filmed one wedding. I think Zach's done a couple.
Yeah, I've done
Never
a
again will
couple.
I do another wedding, Trevor. It is so
yeah,
So
stressful.
difficult.
they are stressful. That's for sure. I mean, we still like, because I've been doing it for about 10 years. I think we've done over 100 weddings. Like, we'll still probably do like 3 a year, but obviously it's just going to be a little bit different with working a full-time job and stuff like that too. But that's kind of like one of the things is like I was kind of wanting to get out of that space a little bit. Definitely want to keep my foot in there a little bit, but I just was like kind of getting a little bit burnt out. So I was like, I knew I needed a new challenge. And that's kind of like when all this stuff kind of got presented to me. So
Hard because it's usually like a supplemental thing to do them. Because when
yes.
I was working with one of my friend's wives, and like I'd work Monday through Friday. Well, then your Saturday you're at the wedding, and if you're
Yep.
filming it doesn't matter. The wedding's at 12. You're there at
Yep.
7, filming the bridesmaids walk up,
Yep.
filming the groom, and then you're there all the way to the end at 10 o'clock at night, and it's like,
Yeah.
there's my day. It's like I
Yep.
don't have any downtime.
Yep.
You can't relax.
Exactly.
And then
It's a
there's
grind,
a turn
man.
time on the video.
Yeah, it's a long turn time too, and it's a lot of extra work too. And that was actually kind of one of the reasons why I think like 2 years ago is when I kind of started to feel it. And then when we had our son Breck, that's really when I felt like I kind of wanted to shift gears, because I was like, I don't want to be busy every weekend. You know what I mean? Like I want to watch him grow. I want to watch him, get into sports and stuff like that. So I definitely wanted to be a little bit more present, and that was kind of my idea of maybe trying to shift gears a little bit and stuff like that.
So were you were kind of contract work for Primo? Is that how you got started with Primo?
Yeah, so it's actually a really interesting story how I got started with them. So, I would say probably 2020 was when I developed my passion for golf. I mean, growing up, golf was always in my life. I would go to some golf camps that my parents signed me up for, and I always tell them that I wish they would have just kept me in the game longer, because now the learning curve is so much more difficult. And I chose baseball over golf at a young age. So, I mean, I know the ins and outs of a baseball swing, and golf has been like just learning how to walk. So it's been a lot of fun. But yeah, in 2020, I kind of developed that passion for golf. And I think it was like 2021. I kind of was like, or 2022, I was like kind of thinking about exploring a little bit, just for fun, doing some golf photography and stuff like that. But yeah, I mean, I would say last year, I really put my nose to the grindstone and just tried to grind, and just try to make opportunities happen. So I was just, kind of creating spec commercials for like that TaylorMade driver that I did,
Yeah.
shooting with friends who also do golf photography to get more experience. And it led to some opportunities, actually having the chance to work on the Corn Ferry Tour and do a shoot for them in Nashville, which was a
Wow.
really amazing opportunity. But yeah, actually how it happened, I think it was maybe it was 2023, I believe. I just took a chance on myself. I was like, I don't know if they're going to respond. I like this brand. They seem cool. Like I have like a pair of their shorts. I like their shorts. Um, I just reached out through the Instagram. I was like, hey, any chance that you guys might need some extra help editing or, anything like that? And the guy responded. He was like, you know what? Yeah, I actually do. Because a
Cool.
lot of people don't know this, but Primo is a pretty small company. There's not really that many people that work at Primo. But he kind of told me, he's like, yeah, we kind of need something like that. But I think they weren't really ready to kind of have somebody on. So for 6 months, I was like, I wasn't working with them or doing anything. I was just still creating content,
Hmm.
with the hopes that maybe something would happen in the future. And 6 months later, he reached back. The guy who's like my manager reached back out to me and was like, "Hey man, are you still interested?" And I was like, "I mean, yeah, absolutely. Anything to do with golf content, I want to do it." So I started editing for them for about 6 months remotely, and we're originally from Murfreesboro, Tennessee, so that's where we moved from. But worked for them for about 6 months. Had the opportunity to fly up here to do the shoot when they had like Micah's clothing line dropped.
Hmm.
Got along with all the guys here, and he had kind of told me it might lead to a potential full time job. And the idea was to keep me in Murfreesboro, right? So we could kind of stay
Yeah.
close to family because my wife has her parents live in Jackson, Tennessee, which is about 2 hours away. But then my now manager called me. He's like, "Hey man, what are your thoughts about moving to Utah?" And I was like, let me ask my wife. I'm like, that's kind of a big deal. So, that's kind of what happened. Yeah, they extended me an offer, and I was really blessed because I was just like, I feel like for 10 years I've been kind of grinding. I knew weddings were kind of what I kind of lived off of and supplemented and stuff, but I knew it wasn't what I really wanted to do. I knew that
Hmm.
there was a different calling that, I felt called to. And, thankfully they extended, the offer. My wife and I prayed about it. And it was a lot of tears were shed, but we, kind of came to the conclusion that I think this would be good for us. So,
Yeah. So you'd
yeah,
already made your mind up that you were going to be in the golf content lane, or are you
yeah,
open to like
yeah.
whatever
For
sports or
sure.
anything?
So yeah, so that, I mean that's along with weddings. Like I do a bunch. I still do like a bunch of other stuff, right? Like I've done a lot of commercial work and stuff like that for brands and just like local companies. But the weddings were kind of like our bread and butter.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, so like yeah, I mean I would say last year I took that chance and I was like I'm gonna really pursue this, and I really started kind of connecting to a lot of people in the golf industry, and that's what I feel like so cool about this. Like the golf industry is it's big, but it's also so small too. Like I feel
Mhm.
like there's a lot of tight knit people, and a lot of people that I've been able to connect with just through this scene. So yeah, I kind of last year when I set out to do it, I was like, I'm gonna try and find ways to work with other companies, and I obviously reached out to other companies, and it didn't work with everybody, but I just took a chance on myself, and it happened to work out,
Yeah.
which was awesome. So
I
yeah,
think
That's it.
that's similar for us because we're from Auburn, Alabama. It's real
yeah,
small. There's nobody else in the area doing what we're doing, so
right,
it's like you just throw pins at a flag. Every once in
yep,
a while, someone will respond.
Yeah.
And recently,
yeah,
like even with you, like I wouldn't think you would come on, but it's always nice that everybody's like,
yeah,
"Hey, yeah, I'd love to." And we've
yeah,
had like
absolutely,
a bunch of SEC golfers, and we've
yeah,
had a couple coaches come on, and it's crazy how big it seems, but at the same time, everybody's just grinding for the same thing.
yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely,
That's what I love about it. What before we go further into where you're at now, what's your
yeah,
favorite setup that you use as far as photo? Do you have the same setup for
yeah.
photos and videos, or you just swap the lens
Yeah,
over?
so right. So like I kind of have like I mean, due to the wedding stuff, I have quite a bit of gear. I have like four cameras because with weddings you kind of have to have a lot of cameras. So thankfully over the years, like I said, I've just invested in myself when I could in college when I was like living very cheap. And I would invest in lenses and literally just try and buy anything I could get my hands on that I knew that would help my quality improve. Um,
Hmm.
and that's kind of like before I started doing a lot of this stuff, like I still I have a YouTube channel where I used to post all my stuff, and I need to get back to doing that because there's a lot of videos that I have on like the back burner and stuff that I've been wanting to post. But My go-to setup right now, currently, I'm rocking the Canon R5C.
Okay.
And it's been a great hybrid camera for me because it does photo as well. It's got like the photo capabilities of the Canon R5, but it also has kind of like the cinema settings of like the predecessor, which is like their C70. And it's been great, man. It's like I can kind of rig it up like a cinema rig. And it's actually what we've been using to like we're the women's line for Primo's dropping here soon at the end of the month. So I've done like the video that they just posted. I shot all that stuff on that camera. But it's been good. I mean, I've had ideas to invest in cinema camera, like very high end ones, but I always have to like kind of stop myself. I'm like, do I really need this? But yeah, as far as like lens goes, I would say like I like using primes, but I have like my go-to lens is obviously my 24-70. It's just I could do so much with it. It's sharp, it's crispy, so that's kind of my go-to like run up setup for the most part.
A red camera in the future? Is that what you're saying?
Maybe. Hey, if we can get the Primo budget to approve it, absolutely. We'll see. We'll see what's in
Those
store.
things are insane. There's a guy
Yeah,
I follow on TikTok. I don't know if you've seen him. He's a wedding videographer, Porter. The dude
I think I
is
follow Porter. Yeah.
he gets me so motivated with the stuff that he does with his camera. So that's why I ask gear wise because I'm curious.
Oh yeah. Yeah, I'm always that way too. I'm a gearhead. There's times where I'm just like I definitely don't need something, but I'm like, oh, I'll find use for it. But yeah, definitely down the line, I want to invest in something even nicer. But it's been cool to kind of like progressively get different cameras that are kind of getting me more experience in that realm. So
What does your wife help you shoot?
yeah, so that's actually so we started dating in high school. So we're high school sweethearts. So she started helping me kind of when I first got into it and was kind of like a my glorified second shooter. So she does basically all the weddings with me. There's been times where I've had to like contract out people and stuff, but she's been really good too because she actually worked in the bridal industry. So she's been really good with like brides and stuff like that too. She's helped me a lot, but she really doesn't have a background in video or photo. But she just kind of picked it up and she's good with working with people. And I feel like that's like 80% of the wedding industry or any industry in general is just having communication skills and being able to work with other people. So no experience in that, but she definitely helps for sure.
That's sick to have her helping.
Yeah.
I was gonna say we've kind of gone the same route, progressing cameras. We went from Casey's little 1080p camera.
No, it's a Canon 5D. Don't be playing a little 1080p.
Is it the 5D Mark II? 5D Mark II?
Yeah,
What is it?
that's what I have. I use it.
I still own that. Yeah.
So I was at a church and we had that camera. I was the creative director at a church, and so that's the camera we used. So I was like, I'm gonna buy that for myself, and so we filmed our first few videos with it, and then we got rid of it. Well, I use it for our church now.
That you say that because like I've sold like I've bought cameras and I'll sell cameras to like upgrade. But the 5D Mark II was actually like my first really nice DSLR because I own like the Canon T3i before that everyone starts out on. The Rebel, and I sold that and like I saved up and bought my mentor's Canon 5D Mark II, and like still to this day like I can't get rid of it. I mean you can't sell it for anything, but I was like it's too precious, you know what I mean? It was like it was a part of my story, so I was like I have to.
Actually, trying to hate on it, talking about the little 1080p camera.
Oh yeah,
it wasn't where we're at now. It was like the first step. So we went from cell phones to the 5D, and we bought a Canon video type camera, and we just couldn't adjust the colors the way we wanted to. Now we're at a Sony
A7X3.
Nice. Yeah, I've had a chance to work with that a lot too because a guy I was doing some videos for, like content stuff, he shot on that, and that was actually a big thing for me. Like people were like, why don't you use Sony? And like honestly, I do like Sony cameras. It's just one of those things where I've been so heavily invested in Canon at like the start of my journey that all my lenses are Canon that I would literally have to sell everything off to start over. So yeah.
It's like the Sonys with like low light and stuff. They're so much to me. To my
Canon. Oh no, that's 100% true. I agree. I mean, like my Canon that I currently have is a lot better in low light, but yeah, notoriously they've struggled in low light in the past. But yeah, no, Sony definitely gives people what they want, and I feel like Canon gives people kind of what they need. But most people want the extra stuff, right? So I'm there too with you. So
the next step is glass. That's what we've come to the realization of. We can get a lot out of what we currently have, but we just got to make that next investment.
Yeah,
it's so expensive.
I know. What are you guys looking at? Have you guys considered any like focal options or?
I haven't really
I
started
don't know.
looking
I don't
yet.
think we've started the looking yet. We just know that's the next step.
The Sony, we got the Sony
Money's
off.
fine.
Yeah, we got it off Marketplace, and it came. It's not even the Sony lens that came on it. Like
Yeah.
it's some generic lens, which it looks okay.
I
But
mean,
we
I will
know,
say, it's like saving up for that lens. I'm telling you, like it's different because it's like real life now. It's like, all right, I can't just go spend $1,500 on a lens or 2,000 right now because I got things to pay for. But like, in college, that's why I invested in everything that I could because I kind of knew, out of college it might be kind of tough. But like, yeah, lens selection makes such a huge difference in like camera quality and stuff. So, yeah, if you
yeah.
guys ever have any questions about that, feel free to reach
Oh,
out.
we
we will.
got questions.
Always
We're,
happy to
we're
help.
gonna need
Yeah.
some guidance.
What do you use for your drone footage? What kind of drone are you flying?
Yeah, so I actually just upgraded to the Mavic 3 Pro. I
Hmm.
was on the Air 2S for a while. Before that, I had the Mavic, and I've really kind of been flying drones since like I think it was like the Phantom 2. I got was like my first drone. My mentor sold me that one too, and it's funny. I almost crashed it the first day because it wasn't holding the GPS and started swaying towards a tree. So I have that, and then I actually have the DJI Avata, the FPV drone. Like I bought the full kit for it, and I've had it for 8 months, and I haven't even flown it once. So I'm like,
Really?
yeah, I really want
Dang.
to, but it's one of those things that's like I bought like a GoPro for it too. So I'm thinking like this summer I'm gonna practice more. There's a lot more open terrain here where I can fly it, and like where we lived in Tennessee, I didn't really have a good place to practice. Um, but yeah, I've been sitting on it. Like I literally bought like the best setup for it. Reached out to one of my buddies who flies them as well, and he's like, "This is good for what you need." Because I'd love to incorporate it into our Primo work and golf work and stuff like that. But it's one of those things that I know it's going to take a little bit of a learning curve, and
Yeah.
it's just like trying to make that time, which I need to. I've got time. Everyone has time, but
We
finding
got
it right.
the Mini 2 Pro, and I bet
Yeah,
I crashed it 3 times
Yeah.
really.
because of pine trees. So it doesn't pick up the pine needles
Yeah,
when we played, and 2 times it's caught itself. It'll crash and it'll still hover. And then one time I was like,
does
I
it
gotta
have the
turn on the
sensors on it? Does it have this
yeah,
obstacle avoidance?
yeah,
Even
it's,
with that, you've crashed it.
yes,
That's talented, honestly.
yeah. We were at Purcell Farms, and it was
Yeah,
the
I love
first
that
time we were
place.
really going through it. And I'm coming down above the tee, and all of a sudden I see it on the screen just flipping. I was like, oh no!
Oh
And then we
no,
couldn't find it.
bummer. Did you guys end up
And
finding it though?
yeah,
Yeah.
there's an
Yeah. It's
emergency
not
mode
beeping.
on it that'll send
Yeah,
a sound. But I
yeah,
was like, dang, I broke all these propellers off. I
yep.
just got to replace them. Can't finish flying it. But it's
What
been
did
a
you
learning
think
curve.
What did you think of Purcell? You were there at the end of last year.
Man, amazing, amazing. So actually, I'm sure you guys probably follow Jeff Marsh, right? Or heard of Jeff Marsh, maybe. Um,
Any?
he's a golf photographer. He does a lot of stuff with the. I believe it's the. I'm butchering this, but
Oh
I
yeah,
think
yeah,
it's the
yeah.
US. He might be the USGA, but he does do a lot of shooting on tour and stuff like that. And he's got a pretty big following. He's been doing it for several years. Um,
Hmm.
but Jeff, it's kind of funny how we met. So that's kind of how I got to go to Purcell Farms, right? So I think I got connected with Jeff through another local person in Franklin, Tennessee that knew Jeff and just kind of, this was back when I was kind of networking a lot. And
Yeah.
somehow I guess like Jeff and I's paths crossed. And he reached out to me. He's like, "Hey man, what are you doing this week? Like, would you want to come to Purcell Farms with me? Like, you don't have to pay for anything. You can stay, and I just need someone to like kind of like be in the photos and stuff like that." And I ended up helping him with video as well too. But man, it was phenomenal. The whole family there is amazing. We had the honor to stay with the Purcell family. Jeff and I did, and we got to play. I think we were there for 3 or 4 days. But we
Hmm.
played I think we played like 75 holes in 3 days. And then
Oh
we
wow.
we got to do some of the skeet shooting too. Like that place is just like, it's just like heaven on earth. Like it's got everything that a guy would want, I feel like. So I'm anxious to get back out there and bring the family out there. But yeah, we loved it. It was super pure. Facilities are great. It's just a great place to be.
Hole 5, the par 3,
Let's see.
The
I'm
down.
trying to
hole
remember.
1
Oh yeah, yeah,
in
the
the sky.
iconic hole. Oh yeah, yeah. I think I had an opportunity at that hole 4 times, and I'm pretty sure my closest one came right to the. Like I hit, like I don't even know what I hit, but it rolled back and fed back in, but it went right in the bunker. I still didn't end
Oh,
up with a par after that. I'm pretty sure I shanked every shot after that. So
it's so crazy to us how, I mean, Purcell's like maybe an hour and 45 minutes from us. And it's
yeah,
like middle of nowhere, basically,
I
before
know.
you even get to Birmingham,
Yeah.
and how it's become like YouTube's most famous golf
Yep.
course now.
Yep.
It's insane.
Yeah, I mean
Uh,
that hole is just so iconic, and I just remember seeing that like, and like getting there and stuff like that. I was like, this is wild. And Jeff and I kind of got to run around. It felt like just being like a kid again because like we
yeah,
like had the course to ourselves basically. We did some like astrophotography late at night actually on that hole, which was a lot of fun. We did it with like some of the glow in the dark golf balls, but it was a really cool place to go and just like I mean honestly, I'm anxious to get back out there. So it
yeah.
was such a fun place.
It was cool to see last year when they had that whole week of content like Busta
Yep.
Jack, Mike,
Yeah.
everybody once, Brian Bros. That was really neat to see that happen.
Yeah.
What do you think of kind of like golf content right now? As far as I think it's trending better than professional golf. Like people are enjoying it right
Yeah.
now. And with you being in it, as far as connected to some guys, like where do you see
Sure.
it maybe in the next few years or whatnot?
Yeah, I mean, I definitely think I see it growing for sure in this content space. I think you bring up a good point. It is kind of amazing how within like the last few years, golf has really exploded like to begin with. Like a lot of people are getting into golf that never would have played golf. And
Hmm.
I think the reason why those guys are having such great success too is because yes, they're good. We want to watch people that are good at golf, but then there's also, people that are kind of more along the lines of my skill level, and it's just more fun to watch that too. But like I think I don't really see it going away. I just
Hmm.
think there's going to be more ways that it gets utilized and stuff like that. And it is, yeah, it's kind of interesting that a lot of people are watching YouTube more than they are like the tour or stuff like that. But I will say that I think what's so cool about it is it's getting more people into the game, which I think is like the overall goal, regardless of kind of like what the content looks like. Um, but yeah, I don't think it's going anywhere anytime soon. I think like for us too as a brand, like working with Primo, like obviously we like to work with influencers like Grant and like, they definitely help push our brand and stuff like that too. So it's just kind of a win-win situation. But yeah, I definitely see it continuing to grow. And I think
Yeah.
there's still going to be more people that come out to the scene that are going to be, just bringing the same stuff or bringing something different that we haven't seen. Because
Mhm.
it's definitely a big market that I feel like has really grown in the last years. And I think that was another reason why I was like, okay, I already love golf, but I see this as an opportunity of like, okay, it's growing now. Like let's get in this now. Let's see what we think. Like see if I really like it. Um,
Yeah,
so yeah, long-winded answer again, but I don't think it's going anywhere anytime soon.
I
My
agree.
only problem with the game growing is lack of tee times.
Oh, dude,
It's
yes,
so hard.
preaching to the choir. Yeah,
So
um, what?
what part of Utah are y'all in now?
yeah. So we are. I'm still trying to figure out everywhere where we are, but we're the office that I work out in. It's in Lehi, Utah. So it's about I can't remember which direction, but it's like 30 minutes away from Salt Lake. So it's not
Oh,
too far.
Okay,
Um,
so kind of
but
north.
yes, north. Yeah. So it was kind of like, I made the drive out here from Tennessee, and it was
Oh,
brutal. It was 24 hours, a little over 1,500 miles. Did 14 hours the first day. I think I got sick when I got to the hotel too. Drove the
mm,
next day. I was sick too. Then I was sick for like 2 more days once I made it, and slept on an air mattress for 2 weeks until the
oh,
movers came. So that was brutal. But it's definitely been a really cool place to be. Like it's obviously beautiful. I mean, there's mountains
yeah,
everywhere. It kind of just doesn't even seem real. Like I'm still trying to soak it all in. Like this is where we live. Because
yeah,
like Tennessee's obviously a beautiful place, and I still miss it. I miss all my friends and connections I've made there. But we'll still obviously go back and stuff for sure. But yeah, so we're where we live is at Eagle Mountain, Utah, but we're Lehi is kind of like the bigger city, and that's where like our warehouse and stuff like that is located. So
oh,
okay,
okay. We're going to
yeah.
St. George in
Oh,
September.
okay.
We're going to play
Yeah.
yeah,
Sand Hollow and all
Oh,
that.
nice.
So
Yeah.
when I was looking up airports and stuff, I kind of figured out what
Yep.
little bit of geography I know about Utah.
For sure. For sure. That's going to be awesome. And that's one of the things that I really want to do as well too is there's so many courses here. I mean, where I live, there's like amazing, like down the road, there's like a course that just overlooks all these mountains. They have a great range. But thankfully, like the Primo guys have a deal with one of the courses here. where we get to go play for free, which is great
Oh,
because
that's
I'm going to
good.
save. Yeah, I'm going to
That'd be
save
a
so.
perk.
It's such a perk. I'm going to save so much money on golf because I spent a fortune on it last year, just going and playing as much as I could. But I actually joined the men's league too. There, they have a weekly men's league, so we get to go play like once a week with like everyone
Yeah.
from work goes and plays, and that's been kind of fun for me because like my handicap's like a 12, so I usually shoot like upper 80s. Sometimes like can get to the lower 80s, but
Mhm.
it's been like today was like the first time I ever played like a competitive like golf setting, so that was
Uh,
interesting. And the course is also link styled, and it's insanely windy here. The ball does not sit on the green like it does in the south, and
mhm.
putting is just it's just another animal out here. So I'm like
Yeah.
I feel like I'm learning golf again out here. So
Does
How
the
do you
ball
wild.
fly further off the tee?
Oh yeah, yes, absolutely. I mean,
need it?
there's been some holes here, and I'm not tooting my own horn, but there's like one hole. I think it's can't remember which one it is at the course, but it's like three. It was like 325 carry to like the front of the green, and I like drove it past the green. Of course, the
Oh,
wind helped for sure, but I
yeah.
mean, it's like
Okay, Bryson.
you get yeah,
Okay.
chill out, right? Yeah, no, but if you get a hold of something here, it really is amazing. Like I will say, like a normal club I would hit in Tennessee, like let's say I'm hitting an 8 iron in Tennessee, like I might need to take like a 9 iron or a gap wedge here. It's just so different. It's like it's just so strange and stuff like that. So it's like learning. I feel like I'm learning to play at different conditions, and it's actually kind of making me better. But it's
Mhm.
also making me more frustrated because I'm like, why can't I make it happen? You know what I mean? But it's definitely a different style of play for sure. Links golf is different. So
Um, there's just a few more questions, and we'll let you
yeah,
get
for sure,
back to
man. No worries.
balance. Like for us, when we're out there, we love
Yeah,
golfing, and then sometimes
for
it's
sure.
like we got to get the content, but I wish we
Yeah,
weren't having
yeah,
film today. We really just want to go
yeah,
golf. How do you balance that? Do you try to mix in
yeah.
uh, content days, regular days,
Sure.
or like how do you do it with, especially now
That's
with a
a
kid?
that's a
Out there as
yeah.
much as
It's a great question. So actually, like when we were in Tennessee, there's a course I'm sure you guys may have heard of, the Hermitage in Nashville, Tennessee.
yeah.
It's a pretty iconic course, great public course that I had the opportunity. We knew the social media course. I still do know the social media guy that does all their social stuff, and we became good friends. And then my other golf photo friend, Alex Leith, you guys may have heard of him. He and I became really good buddies, and we kind of got to go out to the Hermitage for free every now and again when we got to play
Oh
with
wow.
Sam, which was a perk. And but yeah, there was days like I can definitely say that bringing out a camera definitely affects my score. I feel like I normally play worse because it's
Yeah.
hard to balance both. You know what I mean? But I think for me, like there's days like if I'm like filming a lot and I've done a lot of golf content in the last several days, I may I may go out there at least I try and at least give myself time to go out there without a camera and just to be present and be there because like you guys said, it can be a lot. I mean, it's stressful, right? Like it's just you want to be out there enjoying yourself. And it's not that the content stuff isn't fun, but there are times where you're like, I just want to relax for a minute, right?
Yeah.
So I
Yeah.
think for me, I kind of feel it out. Like I feel like if I like get a bunch of content, I feel like I've got a lot stacked, then I might go out and just put the camera down for a little bit. But I will say I still always pack it because I've
Mhm.
had times where I've missed like a perfect sunset and I was
Oh
like,
yeah.
you know what? I'm not doing this. I'm going to bring my camera and I'm going to say I'm not going to use it, but if I see something that inspires me, I'll pull the camera out. So,
Yeah. What what's a day in the life for you at Primo now? Now that you're full
yeah,
time,
for
what's it look
sure.
like day in the life?
For sure. So
Do you
it's
know the
definitely,
owner, the new owner, very
yes.
well?
Well,
Garrett, I mean
so So
Grant, is he
that's
your,
Grant?
yeah.
your boss
So
somewhere?
I haven't met Grant yet. So like a lot of people kind of like wonder that like does Grant own the company? So Grant basically got stake in the company. So
Uh,
like the main guys still own the company and stuff, but Grant's probably coming up here at some point soon. So I'll be stoked to meet him. But I'll tell you this for sure: a day in the life before I worked this job was I would still wake up at 7 because that's when our little man wakes up, and I would start my day just kind of editing. But it was a little bit easier to kind of just leave if I wanted to go golf or do something like that.
yeah.
But this was kind of one of those jobs where, like I kind of was telling you guys, we really wanted to make a change. We wanted something a little bit more consistent because freelance is great, but there were months where we were just like, man, it'd be nice to have a full time gig right now.
Mhm.
But day in the life for me here, it's work starts at like 9. So it's been great. I show up to the like our warehouse is set up to where we have like when you walk in, you'll have like the three main guys who are like the owners of the company, their office setting, and then you walk in and it's a massive warehouse, and then my manager Alex and I's like little studio slash kitchen space is in there. And so it's basically just show up, and it's usually we have stuff on the docket for the week, projects and deadlines that like we have to meet. And most of the stuff I've been doing here recently is like ad-based work, like stuff you'll see running on YouTube or Instagram. So essentially the day kind of looks like, knock out what we can get knocked out. We usually get done around 4, but there's times where we get done a little bit earlier. We get the stuff done that we need, and we might go hit a range session, which is really nice. But yeah, it just kind of depends. It's been really good at the sense where I feel like I've been able to. I feel like when I worked, doing more freelance, like that was my own thing. I felt like it was a little bit harder to be present as a father for my son, like because the work lived with me nonstop, which is not a bad thing. You just have to learn to balance it, and I did at times. But I feel like now I can go to work, I can get my stuff done, focus on it, and come home and actually, be more present. So that's been great for me. But like. The whole transition to this job, to a full-time job, because this is literally my first full-time job. My last job was when I was 15. Yeah, my last job was when I was 15, and I was a dishwasher for like 8 months, and it was the hardest job ever. It was the worst job ever, but it taught me a lot. So, but yeah, so this is like my first gig, and it's been really good because the guys in the company, the oldest guy in the company is 31. So this, or 35, my bad. My manager's 35. The other guys, like one of the main owners, is 31. So we're a pretty young company to the sense of like, I'm 26. It's got a lot of young youth to it, I feel like, which is good for like the YouTube collaboration type stuff too. But yeah, I mean, it just kind of varies. Like we'll have stuff due on certain days, and I'll just have to end up editing it and kind of culling through footage. But I will say it's been a ton of fun. Like I love working with the people in the warehouse. And if I need a break too, you guys may have seen on my story, we have like a little putting / chipping green in our warehouse. So I'm like, if I need 5 minutes, I've been working on it real hard, I'll go chip for a little bit and then come back to it. So yeah.
And do you whiteboard everything out, or are you kind of the filmer and the brain behind it, or somebody else help through it?
So Alex, so essentially my position right now is kind of like, I guess like I don't know if there's like a specific role to it, but the guy who's my manager, he's like considered like the manager of media. So he was the guy doing all of the ads and stuff like that before me. So like I shot like one ad in Nashville before I moved there with one of my buddies at that course, the Hermitage. But essentially for them, I was doing a lot of editing. So Alex and I are kind of we both feed off each other. Like I have ideas and stuff like that, but technically like I kind of like have to deal with like the day-to-day like deadlines and stuff like that. But we both kind of balance it. Like I also do photo as well too. I think one of the big things with me moving here was Alex likes photos more. He's really good at video too, but he kind of likes doing photos more. And obviously I've been doing a lot more video like throughout my career. So I've been able to kind of focus more on the video aspect of stuff. And it's given him an opportunity to direct a little bit more and kind of like plan out shoots. Cause like he directed the women's line shoot that we did. And, but that's something that in the future here, like we have some exciting stuff in the future that I'm going to be able to kind of like help produce and help write and stuff like that. So, so we got stuff in store, but, Alex is, the guy that I work with. He's been great to, he's a good boss. It doesn't even feel like he's a boss. I don't even know if I could consider him a boss because we work together. So, yeah.
Well, I'd like to one day, this could be not on the pod, but I'd like to talk to you one day about the story. Cause like for us,
for sure,
we know in what we're in with the content in YouTube is that we could grow a lot quicker being similar to Bob Sports and Foreplay, but we've made a conscious decision to be family friendly.
Absolutely.
Even whatnot. So
for sure.
It's slower, but I'm a big fan of No Laying Up and how they tell stories, but that's where we struggle with that. And so sitting down with a creative like you, I'd like to just brainstorm and like help me put a story together to get
absolutely, man. And that's one of the things that I think when you guys said, you were like, I'm surprised you even came on. That's like, I will always be the guy. Like I just because when I got into it, my mentor helped me, right? Like I want to be that guy for anyone who's getting into this industry. Like if anyone ever has questions, no matter what it may be, like I'm always someone who wants to help others and stuff like that, and help in any way possible. So always an open door. Feel free to call me or text me, reach out to me. Always happy to help. Because I definitely have a lot of people that come on. I've had a lot of people that have helped me.
Out of Utah. We got Sky Miles. We'll have lunch.
Yeah, for sure. I've had a lot of people help me in the past, so it's kind of like one of those things where I'm like, you know, I feel like I get more out of giving back to others and helping others. It helps me become better. And, obviously, I feel like, if God gave me this gift, why not help others? And, if they're getting into it. So, yeah,
Love it.
for
Do
sure.
you have any more questions for him?
Are you going to
I'm
miss
good.
SEC football?
Am I going to, dude, yeah. I mean, I'll say this. Everyone asks me that here. They're like, everyone recognizes my Southern accent. They're like, you sound so Southern. I'm like, you guys have not heard my father-in-law talk. He's very Southern. So I was like, you guys have not heard Southern. But, my wife and I both went to MTSU, and obviously, we're not SEC football, but I still keep up with like SEC and stuff like that. So I watch it quite a bit, but I'm a big Titans fan, which can be tough to be a Titans fan. But I will say, like, like at our new house, we have a basement downstairs that I'm gonna make it a man cave, and I guess I'm gonna end up getting that NFL package with YouTube. It's pretty pricey, but I'm like, I can't miss my Titans game, so
It's worth it.
it's worth
I'm
it.
so
It'll
glad
be worth
YouTube
it.
TV got it over DirecTV.
Isn't DirecTV like way higher too?
Well, I don't have a satellite. We don't have a cable box in the house, so everything's
Yep.
streamed. So when YouTube TV got it, I was like, bought
Perfect.
instant.
Yep. Perfect. For
You
sure.
may have turned into a BYU fan now. Everybody over there is all about
Exactly. I mean, in the women's line that we shot, one of the girls actually is a golfer at BYU, and that's kind of the cool thing. The owner, or one of the main owners, it's Primo means cousin in Spanish, if you guys didn't know that. But so the owners are their cousins, right? So the main guy, his name's Matty, and he's like the networking guy. He knows like everyone here, has a lot of connections to, because Primo has some pro golfers. They just signed Patrick Fishburne, and they have some more signings, I think, coming in the future. But yeah, like they know a lot of people in this area, which is really cool. So I think that's kind of what's in store for us, is like we're hoping to get some more people that are, on the tour. And I think we have Phil Knowles right now too. He's on the Corn Ferry Tour, but he was on the PJ Tour. He got injured, and I think he'll be coming back soon. He still has like, I think like 20 plus starts on the tour that he could use, but I think he's just trying to get like ready and repped for the tour. So yeah.
Just tell them when they want to expand the BSG partnership, we got a code
Yeah.
with Primo already.
Okay,
When
there
they
you
wanna
go.
Make us partners. We're ready for it.
We appreciate you coming on, Trevor, and talking to us.
Absolutely,
and
man.
we'll follow up for sure on just ideas of storming, brainstorming stuff.
Absolutely. Great to meet you guys. And like I said, seriously, yeah, feel free to reach out to me if you ever have questions about like, the YouTube space too. Cause like I said, I haven't posted a lot on YouTube, but I have had a lot of success like with subscribers and stuff like that. I just like consistency now with a full-time job and being a dad and also running another business on the side. I kind of had to put that on the back burner, but I'm hoping to start posting some stuff here in the future. So
I think the biggest thing we'll come to you for is glass recommendations.
yes, absolutely. Happy to help.
Awesome. Well, y'all can check out Trevor on Instagram, Trevor_Masterson. He posts some qualities. I love looking at your stuff.
Thank you, man. I appreciate it.
Go check him out. And thanks for coming on, Trevor.
Absolutely. Man. Y'all have a good one. We'll see you.
You too. Thanks, man.
All
right, everybody. That was Trevor with Primo. Or do you have to say it like in a Hispanic accent? Primo. Since it means cousin.
I don't know. It got to be our dreamiest interview.
The women will love it. Thanks, Trevor, for coming on. Dude, for real, go check out if you don't do anything else, go check out his Instagram, because the stuff he posts, you're like quality and golf stuff. So he worked with Micah, who I didn't want to ask him about it because he probably is not the liberty to speak about it.
Awkward.
Yeah.
Because it's like NIL deals.
Yeah, which we could talk about now because we're back to our show now. We can kind of talk about it for a minute. That's why I was thinking that. I was like, these social media influencers these days, they're all over the place. Like where they go, it's hard to keep up with people where they're at.
Yeah.
When I saw that, I was like, wow.
Constantly moving.
Which I noticed when he made a video, he talked about it, or it's like a video. He said, here's what I'm going to do for the next year with Bad Birdie. So I think it's always just a 1-year deal. So that's probably what he has with Primos, what he has with Bad Birdie. And then he'll either re-up or whatnot.
I mean, everybody's on 1-year deals, even club deals.
Yeah, everything's 1 year. So that's probably all it was. And because it goes by quick. So he's probably with them for about a year. And so Anyways, that's what's happening in that world. That's Trevor. Go check him out. Now it's time for us to talk about our picks. Our guy Mitch locked it in last week with a Masters pick.
So did.
Double points up. Wild that Scotty's playing this week back at the RBC Heritage. You would
Speaking
think
of
he'd take a week
Masters
off
picks, your boy won a free round
at Purcell
at
Farm.
Purcell
Hey,
Farm.
look at him.
I told Jared, I said I saw the thing. I was like, "Who did I pick?" I said, oh, "I did. I went with the favorite."
So that's gonna be sick. He's gonna get to go play around at Purcell. Um, Masters picks. The rest of our picks did not do good at all. So we're gonna
Nope.
move past that and come to the RBC Heritage, where our boy Wesley Bryan will be in the field because he's a winner here. So he'll be there probably to his old man. But our picks for this week, the defending champ last year is Matty Fitzpatrick.
Matty Fitz. That's mine.
Which that's what I say. Speaking of Matt, that is Zach's pick for this week. I've got no hat Pat. Give me Patrick Cantlay for this week.
Give me Ludwig.
Ludwig, second place in the Masters runner-up, and then Brady has
My man's hot.
for us.
The man who
Ooh.
almost killed a fan.
Now,
I mean, you're not wrong.
now this week for the women, first major of the year. So the Chevron Championship I saw where the purse is higher for them this week, so it's a big tournament for all of them. Our picks for this week, I'm going Lydia Ko. We have a lot of big names in the field this week.
I'm going. I didn't pick Minji.
You didn't pick Minji?
No, I thought I had Nelly.
No, Brady has Nelly. That's what I wrote down. The post that goes out live tomorrow, I think I have you wrote down Minji. I can't change it. That's already been designed graphically and scheduled.
Hold on, I'm looking.
You said you were keeping the same pick from the other week.
I had Lydia Ko.
No, I have Lydia Ko.
No, you got Minji.
You have Minji. I have Lydia.
Okay, so he swapped.
Then I got Brooke Henderson.
Yeah, he swapped. Okay, I've got Minji Lee. Zach's got Lydia Ko.
I know
Mitchell's
my
got
picks.
and Brady's got Nelly. And I think Brady's probably in the best spot because Nelly has won 3 in a row.
She's,
wasn't it?
she's dude. No,
I think it was 3 going into this
3.
tournament.
Yeah.
Okay, that's right.
She's dominant. She
Oh,
is. Speaking
She's
of,
on a tear.
She's the Scotty of LPGA golf.
No,
oh, yeah,
she's
she's
better.
killing it.
Scotty ain't won 3 in a row.
You're right. Did
You
you
never
see?
know if he goes this weekend. He might win it this weekend too.
Boy,
Yeah.
if he plays this weekend, I'll be so upset. Like, stay with your wife. You won the Masters. You're good for
She
a
ain't had
couple
that
weeks.
baby yet.
I'd have
Did
took
you
that
see-
man. I'd have took the week off.
Did you
That
see
man
where-
in 35 days has made $25 million.
No, I was going to say, do you see they broke that down? In the past 35 days, he's made $360,000 a day.
Yeah,
That's just
Wow.
a hair more than all of us combined.
In just a hair. Somebody came in my shop the other day, and we were talking about athletes, and he's talking about sports and football and stuff, and the money they make. And I said, I want you to go look up the top 6 richest athletes of all time. And I said, half of them are going to be golfers. And we looked it up, and it was in the top 6. It was Tiger, Arnie, and Jack. And I was like, and they're not even killing their bodies like all these other guys. It was Michael Jordan, Tiger, LeBron, Cristiano Ronaldo. I'm like, dude, golf makes so much money.
It
If you're
does.
good.
I'm fighting Marley right now, ready to.
I know. I gotta get Ev ready for the drive, chip, and putt. You can start at 7, so I got 3 years to get her dialed.
Marley's
man, you
already
already
working on it.
Noah's gonna be ready for it.
We're ready. We're gonna have the little BSGs ready, getting up and going. So those are our picks. We were talking about before Trevor comes on, but make sure y'all come to Moon Golf on the 30th for the 100th episode. I know a lot of you out there listening have always wanted to meet Mitch and get an autograph. He'll be there. This is your chance.
Okay.
I'm gonna have a
May
Sharpie there.
resist the need to pass wind. We hope in that small studio.
Oh boy.
Come in there and somebody please ask Mitchell for autograph. That's all I'm wanting for the night.
Please,
Somebody ask
let
for
him sign
autograph.
your hat. Let him sign your head, your forehead.
Good.
Yeah. Hey, hey, show up. We're gonna have BSG hats and
Ball
koozies
markers.
and tees, giving them away. That's what we're gonna do. 100th episode. Come hit a shot. Be there early when we start. What time are we gonna start?
Hey, I need a big pack of them teas.
I got you.
I never got any.
Should we say 6:30?
No, we need to do Central Time.
Eastern.
It's in Auburn, so we should do
Yeah.
5 Central.
Okay.
Yeah, give them an hour because they close at 6.
Okay.
I may have to bring the baby because Bethany's going to the Southern Union nursing pinning for some of the students she taught, so I may have the baby with me.
So yeah, Auburn's in Central Time, so 5 to 6 Central Time. Come show up at Moon Golf. We'll be giving away. First one's there. We're gonna give it away till we don't have any more left. But listen,
Yeah. Mitchell will
I'm not.
let you sign his baby.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
I'm not gonna give that hat away to some random person that walks in and hits a shot. You got to come in and say you want a hat, because I'm not just gonna give it to be like, oh, you hit a shot, here's a hat.
You
I'm gonna
gotta
give them
watch. You gotta watch the pod to know.
We should make it where they have to be subscribed to enter the contest
Subscribe to both.
to the YouTube.
And
And use
Instagram
code
and
word
YouTube.
pineapple so we know you watched the podcast.
Before they come in and enter, I mean, we're giving away $500, so we should have before you get a chance to putt, you have to be subscribed to our YouTube channel. I think.
And follow us on Instagram.
Yeah,
you
true.
gotta follow us on Instagram and be subscribed on YouTube to enter.
I think so. So that's what we're going to do. Meet us there at 5 Central. Make sure you're subscribed. Show us you're subscribed and get a free hat if we still have it in our shop for a chance to win. Next week, should have a pretty big guest as long as it doesn't fall through. I don't want to ruin it, spoil it, but maybe one of the larger guests we've had. Closest connection to Tiger we've ever had. From the pod.
Yeah. Yep.
So everybody's got to be on there, ready, A-game, asking good questions. So that's it for the pod. Thanks for watching. Go check out Trevor, super cool guy. And for Primo, go check out Primo, all that good stuff. Anybody got anything?
I'm good.
Like, subscribe, follow.
The boys are going golfing Saturday. We're going to scramble. We're going 9 under. I'm calling it now.
I believe it.
It's doable.
That's it. See you, boys.